Hello and thank you for joining us for another episode of Mastering McPets. Today we are looking at dog fights, why they start, how we can stop them, and we also share some of our stories because believe you me, working in this industry with dogs, we have a few experiences to share. Now, when we first get into this episode, there's a bit of banter about the best ever recording that was never recorded. I had another little hiccup where we spoke for 30 minutes straight, really informative, funny stories, and I hadn't hit that all important record button for the microphones. So we've got great video, but just no sound. But anyway, we did a take two, and this is the outcome. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. So then, dog fights. Why do they start? Because they sit around and try and do a podcast.
Well, they start for lots of reasons, don't they?
They do. So we covered in the best episode that we've ever not recorded, we talked about resource guarding and... Do you know what? That really winded me up because that was literally the best thing we've ever spoken about.
Aren't we? You've still going to
see if I can bring the magic back again.
It is what it is.
Dog fights. So we have had a couple of dog fights in daycare, even though we have a well-structured environment and we do our best to read and put things in places. It's inevitable. You're putting a group of dogs together and we all have off days and make mistakes. And
we do all have off days. You've got to keep your own house in order, I always say. You can't worry about anybody else. So if you know what your dog's doing and how they behave, fine. The golden rule is you see a dog on lead, you put your dogs on lead. It doesn't matter how good they are. And some say unless your recall's fantastic, mine usually is, but you just never know, right? And if one shoots over and you've got a pack of dogs, well, if they met mine, they tend to shoot over, shit themselves and run the other way because of the sheer size. But a lot of people intervene too quickly, but the first thing that dog will meet is me. And it has to be you. If your dog's on the lead and a dog runs over, for instance, and you don't know whether it's friendly or not, you should be able to clock the body language by the time it comes over, but it should meet you. And this is where I said to you, this is where the snowflakes get shitty. I always take out, not for my dogs, a shake bottle, because no dog that doesn't know you doesn't expect somebody to shout, step in front of them, shake a bottle loudly and say, back off. That's usually enough to make them go, whoa! And the canine first strike spray. It was made specifically to break up dog fights. So it's better than citronella. It's full of lots of pungent, horrible smells. It doesn't hurt the dog, but what it does do is it renders
I like the smell of it. It reminds me of Christmas, cinnamon.
It just disorientates them because it's so strong smelling, and obviously we know dogs' noses are 50 times stronger than ours, and that will give you the precious few seconds that you need to be able to sort things out with a bit of luck. But also the mistake that everybody else makes is, if your dog's on lead and the other dog's off lead, fuck's sake, drop your dog's lead. Which is not what you'd want to do naturally. No. You know? Because your dog has got a better chance of defending itself or getting away from that dog. Whereas if you hold it, it's in flight, it can't do anything and it's going to get mullered. And you're swinging it around and then the dog's traumatised every time it goes on a lead. It's on a lead because dogs remember trauma, and then you'll end up with a reactive dog or a fearful reactive dog because of that incident. It's not to say you're not going to get that anyway, but dropping the lead will help immensely. And then that renders you free because you've got two arms and you've got your body and you can get stuck in, you can grab hold of the aggressor and your dog can get away. So they're the things that I would tend to do when I'm out, if anything like that, with a fight starts. If it's a pack of dogs, which can be a bit interesting, again, I don't really go out without the two things I mentioned before, which is the shake bottle and the canine first strike. I've always got a lead to be able to, as unpretty as it is, to get it hopefully at some point around the dog's neck, I don't care which one it is, and just restrict the airflow so they let go if they've grabbed on, because pulling apart causes tears, which is your natural reaction, is to grab and pull, and that's what causes most injuries. Worst case scenario, grab hold of them, stick their heads in the floor.
Like you that time.
Yeah, and you poked out the window, went, "You all right?"
Yeah, and you was.
Well, it wasn't, because I needed somebody to come and get the other one.
Well, I was just putting my shoes back on.
Oh, for God's sake. So, yeah, that's the other thing that you can do. I wouldn't do what I've done in the past, which, if I don't know whether you'll see this, but I'll stick my little fingers up to the camera. You can stick your finger up a dog's arsehole. Doesn't always work, and you end up with a broken finger sometimes, like these two. But sticking your finger up a dog's bumhole makes them go, and that can work. Although that is your shit or bust move.
The other move that you've taught me is the wheelbarrow.
Oh, wheelbarrow, I love the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
But you don't move the dog backwards, because that's pulling again. So your wheelbarrow is up. Take away the power from because when they're attacking, all the power comes from behind. So the momentum is, and you've got the back legs, then they've got nothing to push and to grab onto. Sometimes you can flip them over and they let go, but sometimes you just have to hold them there in that wheelbarrow position as high as you can get them, and that way they can't rag, they can't get the power behind to pin even more. So yeah, that's another good way of doing it. And hopefully you're not left like I would be for 20 minutes till somebody sticks their head out the office window going, "You right?" Hey, Gina.
Be in control. Dogs went.
Yeah, but I panic as well.
Yes, we know.
So I'm like, there's no point me going, because I can't do anything apart from chuck water in the air, because it's not all over Helen, because it won't get to the dogs.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. It does go over me.
Yeah. Well, most of the time it's you that needs calming down. No, but like when I'm out there with the dogs, and it's sort of building, the energy builds up a little bit, doesn't it? And then I'm like,
I send her out. She gets on my tits.
yeah, because key,
which
that doesn't help.
I just go, "Gina, just fuck off, will you? Because you're making this worse. Just go. Just go."
I mean, I used to stand and just hold my breath, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, she does that when they're doing the bronze test and the silver test in the stays. I look at her and I'm like, "Are you going to breathe or what?" The 1 minute stay, she's like this. And she just don't breathe. And I'm like, "What you doing?"
What? Can we pull that a little bit?
I don't know.
Some anxiety.
Yeah.
So you choose not to breathe?
Yeah. No, I don't choose to do it.
It's natural. When I'm bringing dogs in and all of a sudden there's absolutely no problem and something will have a little runabout or a little bark and it's just normal body language and they're just sorting out who belongs where and who's doing what. And people are too quick to intervene and that can cause fights. People can actually make things worse.
Yeah.
Rather than letting their dogs sort out where they belong naturally. And part of that is being able to tell another dog off and it not escalating, and they'll be able to communicate in their body language. And she sees something and you ever go and that's when I'm like, "Go, get out of my sight before you escalate," especially if Pig's about.
Roddy's quite a good example because he makes a horrible noise when he's overexcited, and you look at him and he's having the best time ever, and the person he's playing with or the dog he's playing with is understanding the whole context of that noise and his body language, and there's no problem. But if you listen to him, you go, "Oh my goodness, what on earth is he doing to that dog?"
And that's why Scarlett won't walk him. She won't go out and walk him on her own, because if he sees another dog, he makes that noise, and then she's like, "Oh my God, I can't deal with it," because they think I'm being mean to my dog. She stood outside the shop one day with Pig and Roddy, and another dog came the other way, and she leant in the shop and she went, Mum, hurry up. I said, "Why?" She went, "There's another dog coming down the street." And we could hear this horrendous noise, and this woman went, "What on earth's going on out there?" I said, "Nothing. It's just a twat."
Yeah, he's just excited.
But she won't take him.
Can you see where Scarlett gets it from?
Shut up. No, because I'm calm when I go out.
Lottie, God bless her, when she was alive, do you remember? If you put a lead on her or went anywhere, because she was so excited, couldn't regulate. So we used to take the energy out. Not I put a lead on her because she was so good, obviously in spaces that I needed to, but the initial getting in the car with her or whatever it was we had to do, and just let her realise what was happening. But she used to make the most horrendous sound, just like really yodel, like Roddy does. And it's just frustration, excitement, anticipation. It's all those things.
The other breed that's good for me is Rottweilers. I mean, we love the Rotty Rumble. Yeah, have you looked at the Rotty Rumble?
I like my one that sings, Bruno. That music. Hilarious.
If you go on TikTok and put in Rotty Rumble, and you'll get loads of videos of her, and it's just like their anticipation. We've got like Willow, who comes, she's here today. When she's excited, she's like, and it sounds like she's growling and she's ready to tear you to pieces. But she, again, look at the whole context of her body language and what's going on, and she's just happy. But people will go, "Oh, your dog's aggressive," and look, listen to the noise of it, and then their energy builds, and then the dogs are like, "Well, hang on a minute, I'm a guarding breed. You're elevating now," and then they have got to.
And I was saying, God's sake, cat. We were on about
Hey, mate.
the little staff that came to see us for that assessment with my mentor dogs. I'm just saying, just watch, look what she does. Because she went, "Oh, hackles her up." Well, it doesn't mean it's aggressive. Depends in which context you're looking at it. She's anticipating it. She's a little bit like emotionally and socially retarded. She's a year behind where she should be because she was rescued and because of what she's missed out on. So she's a year behind. So she's working everything out, and she's very intense. So she's like, when she's sniffing, she's like, "What you had for breakfast?" She's not learning that she doesn't need to quite be as intense with the old sniffing up the toot. So she nearly flicked Derek over. And that could have caused a ruckus, actually, because immediately Derek got flicked over, he turned around and told her off because it's rude.
Yeah. And if Pig had been there.
So, exactly. But then I stepped in because I don't know whether, because the staff has got no social skills, whether she'll just turn around and go at him because she's been told off. So I stepped in and went, "Oi!" gently, like that. And she went, oh, okay. So she does need a little bit of help. It's up to us to control the environment. And, but sometimes fights can happen for lots of other reasons, like racism, you were saying about, exactly. Well, you haven't because you didn't record it, but we'll talk about it now.
Yeah. Dogs, if I'm going to have an issue in daycare, there will be a dog with a black face. And that's about dogs communicating. The other dog can't see or read all the facial expressions and can't get all the cues they need as to what's going on.
Tell me why.
White of the eyes. See, I learnt that from the podcast that I didn't record, and I remembered it all the way to half hour later. So we had Black Reggie, who's a Labradoodle, and a Golden Retriever, and the Golden Retriever, something had triggered him, as I'm about to be triggered, and started. You got? Oh, it's not the aircon again.
Oh, don't. Do you have to? Can you not just put it on low?
Yeah, hit lower.
Freeze me, you mean?
Yeah.
And he saw out something had upset him, and he went through the pack of dogs or the group of dogs and sought out Reggie to target him, and he pinned him. But what made that scenario even more dangerous was that the dogs that were also here chose the side of the dominant dog. So you then got that to deal with, and my go-to move seems to be a belly flop. That's the second time because I flopped like a whale in between to protect Reg, and then deadlifted Golden Retriever up and took him away because once he was away, the other dogs went nah, and just went back.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's what we were saying earlier about adrenaline. It's amazing the strength it gives you, like it did for me with those Rotties with a rugby tackle, and then getting the two heads and just pinning them and holding them down until you finally put your shoes on 40 minutes later and come and give me a hand. So yeah, that all kicks in. But it's really difficult in the heat of the moment when things do go, because your natural instinct is to do everything you shouldn't do.
Yeah. panic,
make
Pull
an,
them away on the lead.
pull them apart or
scream
not
like
off
a
lead.
banshee.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, noise is enough. I said to you, like metal bowls and things like that, you don't have those out on a walk. We discussed what you should take out on a walk. But in the home environment, the first time ever, and I mentioned this before, obviously we've had a little bit of upheaval at home, which we'll talk about later. But my pack of dogs are at 6s and 7s at the minute. And Norman, who's an absolute pillock normally, the nicest and nicest of persons, had a pop at Gunnar, who is the most neutral dog you could meet. Yes, he's black, but he's lived with Gunnar from the day he popped out of Gloria. So there was no rhyme or reason for it. I wasn't there. I was upstairs, and I just heard this commotion, and then poor Guns was pinned in the corner, and Norman's going at him. There's no mark on him, but it still pinned him, and he was still behaving in an aggressive manner. So I grabbed the first thing I could, which happened to be Gladys's metal bowl, and absolutely launched it at him, which made him shit himself because it clanged on the floor as well. And he backed straight off, and then I told him to get out of my sight, and off he went. Which enabled me to give Gunnar a big cuddle and make sure he was all right. But there was no rhyme or reason for that. But it's, again, that was stopped with sound. And 9 times out of 10, you can, with a quick correction or a noise or something, just to
Change their focus.
break it up. If it's not gone too far in the beginning, usually, if you preempt it, noise is just enough. What do you use in daycare?
It's not every tool fits that dog or the situation. So the clanging bowls is my last go-to. Well, no, it's not my last go-to. That one will solve everything.
Yeah.
But we have the canine spray, pet corrector, rattle bottles.
Have you got one of them?
Jeez, I told you I needed a pee just now. Don't now.
That's good at stopping a fight.
Yeah.
Your face.
That made me jump. Yeah, brilliant. I'm glad that was captured.
You ain't going to carry that round with you, though, are ya?
No, I bought that just especially today. Of course I did.
Just a light.
So I find with Roddy, them little squeakers.
Yeah, there's positive and negative sounds. Squeaker's great.
Yeah, if I do that, he's like, oh, there's a bowl, and then he just comes to me. Like if they're out, we're out off lead, he literally just brings it straight back. Yeah, he loves the ball. Straight back. Yeah, he loves the ball.
Yeah, he could just ball onto that catio when you throw the ball and it lands on top.
I'm amazed
look at that.
actually because he's a fat fuck and he can't normally jump now. Can't
No,
jump the gates like
yeah.
he used to.
Can he not? No, after he wanted that ball.
No, he gets stuck. Like a whale. Like a whale. It's hilarious.
Oh, we love God. It's funny. He's needy. It was strange the first 24 hours not having him. It's like, oh, I can go for a wee without having something sat in my gusset.
Yeah.
Space.
What is that?
Yeah, you stand up and you don't fall straight over. Yeah, you roll over in bed and you don't lay on top of Roddy, the dog.
What are you doing?
I know. He's a funny thing.
What's Edward doing?
Chasing a fly, probably. Yeah, chasing a fly.
Brilliant. You get those flies.
And now he's having a clean.
So resource garden, people, food,
yeah.
toys,
Books.
phones, Gina.
Yeah, no, Mac rescue, or is a rescue. And what's that? Oh, his head. Oh, Ed's doing the round. He's over there now. All right, Ed. Yeah, Max had a big issue with food from being a street dog. I don't know how he survived. He was 8 when I got him and he lived on the streets. He hasn't got a brain cell to rub together.
That's why you are.
Well, why he survived?
Yeah.
Yeah, but food, big issue. And like we could feed him, wash up, clear away. Half hour later, if a dog moved into that space where Daddy's dinner, it'd fly.
But that's because when dogs are wild like that, dogs just living freely and scavenging, they take whatever they scavenged back to their den, their safe space, and he's mimicking that behaviour. And obviously after 8 years of learnt behaviour, it's going to take a long while. When he realises that food isn't scarce and that food's readily available, it takes a long while for that to settle in, and a lot of hard work to understand that they don't need to do that anymore.
No, I
Because
mean,
it's in abundance.
year
Yeah, I'll bet.
And even he is now, and
That one?
yeah, and he's a lot better with foods, but I still don't trust him. He's always going to have that that trigger, so we always have to be mindful of it, because he's going to jump over my shoulder again.
Great.
Here he comes.
As long as he don't land on my shoulder, it's fine.
Fucking cat.
Yeah, he will still twat a dog over a perceived food situation. But he's nowhere like he was.
I don't have it so much with food. I find that they want to try and resource garden me. Some of my pack in particular, Gladys, Gloria. But my worth is higher than a bone, and I set the standards. And even if I'm telling something off or something wants to resource guard me, it's moved, it's told. Gladys gets chucked out. She got chucked off the sofa yesterday outside because Norman come over to say hello, and she started at him. You're not coming near my mum. I went, I'm sorry. He is.
Yeah.
Know your place.
Yeah, we have that here. When Win-Win,
Yeah.
Cane Corso, she's like that. She attaches to a person.
Hers is anxiety.
Is it?
Yeah.
So she's looking for a safe person.
Yeah,
that's the
Gladys-
attack. Looking for a safe person.
Yeah,
that's the
Gladys
attach.
is not. And I find that with German Shepherds. It's like you always say to me, German Shepherds follow me everywhere. They stick to me like glue. And they do. So they'll pick a person, and it's always the anxious one, and it's always usually me. But Gladys does it for different reasons. She's the enforcer. That's why she does it. And she thinks that I need looking after. And I have to teach her, I don't need looking after. It's not a behaviour that I want to see from you, because I'm the matriarch. So it's my job to deal with what I want. If I want to say hello to a dog and I want a dog to come near me, then it comes near me, not with you butting in.
Yeah.
So a lot of owners need to take that into account. Don't think, oh, it's cute, he's guarding me. It's not cute at all. He sees you at the same level as a bone. You're not.
No.
It really isn't cute. And a lot of people think a lot of people think it's oh, he's guarding me. Is he guarding me? Oh, that's nice. No. No, it's not.
Out walking and I need to be guarded. I'll take it.
But I've taught mine. Yeah, but I've taught mine. I taught mine when I want guarding and when I don't want guarding. So they're not so much with the pack now, but when it was Neville, Mavis, Reginald, and Gloria. If we were out over the fields and I'd see somebody I wasn't sure of, they're used to me being very assertive. Leave it, let's go. Come on, same shit, different day. And they'd be like, yeah, she ain't asked. If I was a bit, you don't look like you should be here, I'd just stop dead and I'd go, fatheads, Reg, here. And I'd walk backwards. And as soon as I walked backwards, they all went, fum, 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 fum in front. And I went, woof. It's exactly what I wanted them to do. So your body language plays a key part in how dogs react again. So same with the fights. So it's usually threshold or around a person or around a thing. If you move, don't say anything, don't do anything, just breathe and walk out of the area. Then, like you say, when you pick that retriever up, everything just went whoosh.
Yep.
Because you've removed the energy source.
Yeah. Move as well.
Absolutely.
So I could have picked up Reg, but then I've had them all
absolutely.
at me.
So like I know with me at thresholds, if they're all being silly in the kitchen when I've got home, or they want to, so they then sort of like turn on each other, frustrated, redirected, and all that sort of stuff. I'm not interested. Off I just go. Where it just stops and they're all like, oh.
Yeah, it's like when we go in, Helen would be in the kitchen or whatever. All the dogs come rushing in because we're all there, and it's all in the kitchen, innit? And then she's like, just go outside for a minute. So we all just go out, and then that's it. It dies down, doesn't it?
Straight away.
It dies down, doesn't it?
Straight away. Also another good thing. You don't have them out on a walk, but throwing stuff over a dog's head, it disorientates them again. So it gives you those few seconds to break things up.
So once we've broken up a fight, because obviously you've got
decompress, but the worst thing people can do is keep them separate. The amount of times I've been to houses where the dogs have had a little skirmish, and I mean handbags, and the owner's gone, oh, they've had a fight, and they've kept them separate. They then make a territorial issue, and then it's really hard to bring them together. So what you want to do is just let it settle for 5 minutes, and then reintroduce slowly.
Yeah.
With no other dogs and no energy, and teach. You can't teach. You can't tell a dog how to behave or help it learn if you don't put it back into that environment. Keeping it away is avoiding it, and it just then becomes a negative and a learnt behaviour.
Yeah.
So you have to teach.
Yeah. We've inadvertently done that here because German Shepherds, they had big handbags. I can't remember what it was over, but Leon and him now we can't put them together. So we do keep them separate when they're here at the same time. When they're here at the same time.
Have they both got balls still?
No, both. I don't think Bear's castrated, is he?
No.
But Leon is. And Leon's being a Ridgeback, is quite a sensitive lad.
Yeah, they're very sensitive. My boy was.
But he's happy around the cats. It's easy to manage it like that. But then we do find that hard in daycare when we have had a negative experience, because like you say, you've got to work on their relationship.
Yeah.
But we've got another 5-6 dogs.
Yeah.
In the environment.
What you should do, Leon's a family dog, Bear's a family dog of sorts.
Yeah.
So then you should find that time, or Joe should, or whoever it would, and they should go out for a walk together on lead.
On lead?
Yeah, just walk together on lead with enough neutrality between them.
Yeah, because it's really surprising because they are both gentle dogs.
Yeah. Well, Neville and
Gentle dogs.
Yes. Well, Neville and Reg, but they were never best mates, but they tolerate each other. They only ever had one big fight in the whole time that they were both alive, and it was horrendous, and that fight was bad. Reg was in the vets, 247 stitches. So that was the only fight they ever had. Neville went under the stairs and was absolutely beside himself and howling, and I've never seen him like that. But then as soon as Reg come back from the vets, he licked him all over. But they were never best friends like he was with Maeve and the others, but they tolerated one another. And that's where you need to get to, is tolerance. They don't have to be mates, but they just need to tolerate and not be dickheads.
Yeah.
And only you can do that.
Yeah. So when we have had a fight or handbags, because I find it difficult to call it a fight because we all argue, but it doesn't mean like a fight to me says like they've hurt each other.
Your fight is when you're at the vets.
Yeah, we haven't had that.
You have scuffles.
We have scuffles and arguments and the rest. But we don't want a dog to go away, like we were just saying, with that being their last experience of being in daycare. And it was when Elvis come, although that was nothing to do with a fight and he was just off colour, Ellie was like, oh, I won't leave him, I'll take him. But he was shaking. I thought if you took him home now, his last memory of being here was being in that kind of state. So we left him and we just took our time.
What I do is put Elvis in a quiet place on his own, and you find he needs 20 minutes, Kip. He does when he comes to me for dog school.
And then he was all right. Yeah, that's what we need. He had time on his own. I moved him through the gates until he made it into the group, and then after 10 minutes of being in the group, he started playing. God bless him. He did look sad that day. Elvis. But we when they're there to the dogs, you know, I've got you, you're all right, I see you, I hear you, you're fine, you're safe.
It's about decompressing them.
Yeah.
About decompressing them.
Yeah.
Tied to with Gunnar after Norman had had a pop at him yesterday, and I made sure that I took him away separately from everybody else, because he's the most neutral dog, as you know. And I just did a little bit of find it with him, did some cuddles, took him round, made a fuss, let him go and sniff, and let him to just stop the panting and bring his heart rate down, and just spent time with him. And after that, he was back to normal Gunnar again.
Yeah. I've heard that some people do is you have something happens on a walk and it's dealt with, you've moved on, you go home, you tell the family, and that family member then tells the dog off. Oh, why did you do that whilst you were out? Why?
Why?
Yeah, why? Don't.
Dog has got no idea what
He's
you're
got-
saying.
don't-
Dog has got no idea what you're saying. All he reads is that you're angry with him, so then
Yeah.
he becomes frightened of you.
Yeah, it's like, shit, what have I done now?
Yeah. And the other thing that we missed, actually, which we recorded on the first one that didn't record, was, do you pick a dog up?
No, I don't think you should.
Well, I don't think there's a right or wrong. You
No.
can't pick up a great big dog because it can cause jumping. But I know for a fact that if something went for Derek that was a lot bigger, he's got no chance. And he won't be able to get away either because he's not
No.
fast enough.
Little dinky legs.
I've chucked him over my shoulder because I know that I can deal with that dog.
Mm.
Or several, come to think of it,
Yeah.
as long as he's up and out the way, because he can be killed quite easily.
I think not from a dog fight point of view, because I think if you can pick it up out the way and deal with it, what I don't like about owners picking up their dogs is when nothing's happening
Exactly.
and they're like, oh, here comes a dog that's slightly
Yeah.
bigger than mine. Oh no, oh, and then
That-
oh no.
But that's
oh.
a
And then
a
that
different
dog's like,
conversation. Yeah, what is it? It's excitement. They pick it up.
Can I have
Yeah,
some?
I
You
get
pick me up
that.
too.
But if it was a case of keeping a really small
Yeah,
dog safe
safe,
from
yeah.
another thing else, I wouldn't hesitate in whopping Derek over my shoulder
Yeah.
because then I can deal with that.
Yeah.
And deal with it, I would,
Yeah.
if the others hadn't piled in first. If it was just me and Derek, but 9 times out of 10, Gladys would have kicked its ass.
Yeah. So I mean, and we've got to deal with our emotions after a situation as well.
I
do- Yeah, you're not normal. Yeah, you're not normal.
No, I just think it's because it's such a way of life. It's been such a way of
Yeah.
life for over 20 years that to me, that's just another day at the office.
And deal with in daycare, you actually go, blimey, when does that become normalised?
And it's become normal for me for a long, long time. So she always says, aren't you scared? For a long, long time. So she always says, aren't you scared of things? Aren't you scared that's going to bite you? No. Doesn't matter how aggressive it is.
Yeah.
Because it's just, for me, it's just normal. I know what to do. I know how to deal with it. And it's very rare I get bitten.
Yeah. Because it doesn't faze us. The dogs are just telling us something. So what do we need to listen to and what do we need to change for that dog?
Usually bring me in to help.
There is that. But two of the biters we have, Lettuce and Bertie,
Oh, I come and saw.
yeah, we cuddle them when we groom them. And they
told
they
you to.
just want that security. Not Lettuce,
Well, lettuce we sorted out first of all.
yeah, because we thought she was just being a
Oh.
yeah, because we thought she was just being a
Bitch.
bitch. But so now we cuddle her like we do her. We use the same technique, and it works. But it's like, oh, our dog bites. That's all right. We deal with it. And it's like, when does it become normal not to be worried about bitey doggies?
Because it's
Bitey
Yeah,
doggies.
because it's they're biting for a reason, but sometimes there is a difference. Lettuce was quite petulant. She learnt to bite to not be groomed. End of. And she had to be taught that that's not acceptable before you could move on to the cuddle phase. Whereas Bertie was biting because he was frightened.
Yeah, he was.
So he had to do something different.
Yeah.
And it's knowing what emotion your dog's giving out first of all and why they're behaving like they're behaving. It depends on how you think outside the box. So it does become normalised, it really does. So I don't, afterwards, I just think, for fuck's sake, could have done without that. That's hurt my shoulder. There's something, it'll be some part of my body, I'm getting too old for this shit. That's just my normal thought pattern now.
Yeah, but like for Gina, I mean, you're not. I mean, you like dogs, but you don't. You get quite anxious, don't you? So to see a fight, it's like you've then got to be brought down and reassured and looked after. Well, no,
I just
not
go,
with
what's
you.
up with you, you silly?
Yeah, but like for someone like just not outside of us walking their dog and it happens, you have to look after yourself as well, because if you don't or you don't process it, you're then going to be anxious going out on your next dog walk, and your dog's going to go, oh shit, my owner's anxious, and you start stacking without realising.
Well, that always happens, and that's human nature, because it's the same with me. You can go, like when I put it into context with my riding, that's where my confidence dips and troughs. And 1 minute I'll be fine, jump anything. My horse is a machine. Next minute, I thought of even jumping something that was even 40 centimetres. I can't do it, I'm going to be sick. And that's the worst thing that can go through to Murphy as well. And it doesn't matter how many times you've jumped, you can jump 200 times and you've jumped fantastically. You haven't put a foot wrong, he's cleared every single fence. But you'll just remember that one time when he put you on your ass. And that's all that sticks in your brain. And that's human nature. And it's really, really difficult to move past that.
Yeah.
So I do understand it with and that's why I get clients when they say, I'm out and it's happened. And I'm like, now. And I get it because I put myself in the position I am with horses. I know I don't with dogs because I just think, for fuck's sake, just be loose. But it's the same with a horse for me as it is for them with their dog. Yeah. So I can understand, believe it or not, rationalise it and try and help them move on. So I sing, believe it or not. Yeah, under my breath, but it regulates my breathing. So if your breathing's regulated, or I box breathe, and then that, when you're doing that, when you're out, I say to clients, if you're anxious or nervous, just keep this going through your head. Keep your pace with your walk and your breathing. Same shit, different day. Same shit, different day. Same shit, different day. And keep that same rhythm, and it brings you down.
So how do you do with your...
Drinks brandy.
Alcohol.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, no, I probably don't, do I? Because then I'm just as worse next time I go and there's a dog day. So yeah, but I think mine came from, like, because obviously I didn't like dogs anyway. When I first started working with Helen, I was scared of dogs, and then I sort of was all right.
Yeah, then you went really good.
Yeah, and then I remember taking the dogs out one day, and there was Reg and Maeve and
So
all
you
of them.
went to Our Other Land.
Yeah,
So
I went
not
there,
public.
and we were just walking. I was walking back to the gate, and I wasn't even on my own. We had another young girl with us, and we was walking back to the gate, and then these 3 men appeared with guns, who were obviously rabbiting or something. And they had 2 little terrier dogs, and I literally just thought, what do I do?
Set Reg on.
Yeah, but they had guns as well, and I'm thinking, oh no, I've got this younger person with me, and do I protect the dogs? Do I protect her? Do I protect me? Do you know what I mean? They're not my dogs. I don't want anything to happen to them, and she's not my child.
No,
she wasn't a
they
child.
should be on my land.
I know, but they had guns. So
Do you
know what I mean?
Doing all of that? Get off my fucking land.
Yeah, and to be fair, you know, they sort of saw Reg and Neville, and
Maeve.
yeah, they soon sort of shot off. But yeah, that put the shits up me that day.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, I just don't want to go out on my own in case. And I know that's stupid, but
Yeah, see, I never get that.
stupid, but
Yeah, see, I never get that. I never get that feeling. Even in winter at night, you know, late at night, if mine haven't done enough or they need their time for their exercise and the walk, if I've had a really busy day, I'll still go out at 9 o'clock and I might take them all the way up to Pluckley, park in the recreation ground bit and walk through to the orchards and walk down. Then there's a really long concrete pathway that goes all the way to Surrendon Lane, and I'll take mine out there. Pitch black, just my head torch and them. I don't give a fish's tit.
oh no, see, I'm not scared of the dark.
They just don't worry me.
No, if I had
That's it, you see, I've got mine with me, so...
yeah, if I had Max with me, I'd worry. Actually, my Labradors wouldn't let anything touch me.
No.
See, I'd have,
No. No.
See, I'd have no hope with Pig because he'd just roll on the floor and let him strike his belly.
Yeah, but Roddy, I reckon. Even the noise.
He spoke you that day, didn't he? Out in the thing, he started barking that day when you had a hood up or something, didn't you?
Yeah, threw something at him and told him to stop being such a silly twat.
Scott said, I thought he was going to bite her because he didn't know it was Helen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So dog fights, they can pretty much, as we've sat here chatting, it can happen over anything. Our energy, their energy, wrong side of bed day, racism,
Pain.
hunger.
Pain as well.
Yeah.
And I know as well, we've missed out. And I noticed as Neville got older and a little bit weaker, he got more intolerant and grumpy. And that's something to be aware of with your elderly dogs in daycare, because they can't move as quick as they used to, and they can't defend themselves or tell them off as much as they used to. And that can make them defensive. So the first line of attack, if you like, or self-preservation is to be that way. So be mindful of it. And think that it's not just nastiness. Is this pain? Is it age related? And make sure they've got enough room.
Absolute tyrant for a few days, and it's like, this isn't right. It's something, she doesn't behave like this. Off to the vet. She's got a bad back, and 2 weeks of medicine, and then after a few days of being on the medicine, she was back to playing. She was happy. So pain is just massive. And you know your dogs. If your dog has such a swinging temperament, it's not being aggressive. He's telling you something's going on.
Yeah. Well, Gun does it. You know, Mr. Plastic. He's got plastic elbow, and if that's jipping him, I have to be careful how much I work him. But he has medication as and when he needs it. But if there's things like Poppy, the boxer, who's just full on and wants to play with him, he just goes woof woof, and it's almost as if to say,
Go away.
Ellen, come and just tell her to piss off, because you know, he just woofs at her. It's not aggressive, but he just goes rup, 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 and barks at him. And if Norman tries to get on the sofa and he'll just give a little woof as if to say, remember I'm here, don't sit on me, you dickhead. Yeah.
They'd be sitting there quite calm, but then a dog could just walk past and then they'd jump up and have a go.
But we make sure that, as I say, I know the ones that get tired, like Woody, the Doberman's one, he has to go for timeouts.
Well, Maxie has to go in this boy.
And just have a
He's an old boy.
and just have a relax, and Elvis too.
Yeah, Elvis does.
Yeah.
He gets
Yeah,
up and up and
you
up
have
and
to. You just have to know, and it's my job, your job, to regulate them, because they can't.
Yeah. Potatus is another good one.
Yep.
Keeping the grip off.
Yeah.
Oh, he's lovely though. But then we've got so what's he in Ireland? We've got a Labradoodle, Reggie, and
They look the same.
they look identical. So much so that the owner picked up Black Reggie whilst Potatus was being walked down the path. He was like, "What? I don't know this man. Why's he got my dog?" It's like, no. Honestly, that's Potatus. Reggie's still in here.
I thought he was going to say you sent the wrong one home.
No.
I don't. That's so funny. So my lovely friend Beverly, God love her, she years ago, and when my good friend Fran was still alive, she looked after Maddie and Doris for me. So Maddie was an Irish Terrier. Doris was her daughter. So Maddie belonged to Fran, Dottie to me, and I had to go somewhere, do something. Can't think what it was, but anyway, Bev had the girls, and she said she'd take, when Fran got home from London, she'd take Moomar back. So Fran texted Bev, "I'm back home now, Bev. All right, I'll bring her." She took Doris. And we've never let her forget it. That was quality, it really was. Made my day, that. I was laughing my ass off.
I think that's...
I think we've covered most things. Anybody got any questions, obviously just write in, and then we'll try and answer them in another podcast that might get recorded or might not. Just depends.